Hello, everyone. Hello, Rise Tribe. I don't even know where to begin. So, if you're joining me live or on the replay, I'm going to invite you, as long as it's safe, to close your eyes, meaning that you're not driving, you're not doing anything else that would make it unsafe to close your eyes. And let's turn your palms facing upright in your lap. Just start to take some deep inhales and exhales. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And just start to settle in. start to settle into your body space. What I'm going to do today is what I like to refer to as like a moving meditation. So we are moving the energy within our bodies consciously. We're using creation energy. And in particular, I'm going to use a technique called quantum expansion. So it's Q energy. And as usual, if you are joining me, I can see Facebook starting to let people know that I am live. If you are here with me, I would love to know who you are if you want to comment. And this group is something that I just created today. Today is February 3rd, 2023. And it is the first day that I am opening up Rise Tribe to the public, meaning it's not a paid for membership or group. And the reason why I'm doing that, it comes back to my original intention. When I started Rise Tribe several years ago, the intention was to raise the consciousness of the planet. And how we do that is through our own vibration. Hi, Mocha. It is so fun, isn't it? And so, I wanted to work with people who really understood that if they are going to truly make a difference in the world, in their children's lives, in their partners' lives, in their career, in their bodies, in their bank accounts, in their confidence, and their conviction. It was kind of the tagline I used to say a lot. But really, we all have this this commonality, this common denominator, even that we want to feel like we're living on purpose, right? We want to feel like we are serving humanity. And what's below that even more is the ability to understand and follow through with responsibility that it's up to us to then care for ourselves first. And I always like to use like the airline analogy, right? Like you have to put your oxygen mask on first because you have to be able to inhale. You have to be able to be conscious in order to put the mask on for someone else that might need the assist. So that has always been my philosophy to life. That has been part of the name of my business, A Beautiful Surprise. It is literally receiving everything that is happening in the physical world and understanding that it is happening for a divine reason, for a divine purpose, and that you're never at the whim of the universe. You're never at the punishment of the universe. You're never being scolded or scorned for something that you might have said or that you might not have done. But instead, just the opposite, you are always being divinely guided. I'm a very visual person, and so how I explain this to my clients is it's like the red carpet of the universe is always being rolled out to you, and it's being shown to you. Go here, go here, go here, step here. And you're trusting with each unfold of the carpet that you are just going to pick up your foot. You're going to move forward. And so the analogy here might be I'm going to quit the job that is sucking me lifeless. I'm going to end the relationship that I know isn't for me. I'm going to step into creation of a new Facebook group, whatever it might be. And so you start to move the momentum forward and you trust the unfolding of the carpet, right? You trust the unfolding. Another way of describing this is when you're driving at night and your headlights are on, right? And let's say you're driving cross country. You only see so far in front of you, like 10 feet maybe. And you're just trusting, right? You're trusting that the road doesn't end in 10 feet and you just keep going. And then in 10 feet, another 10 feet unfold. And in 10 feet, another 10 feet unfold. And so I give these analogies because this is the way that we're designed to trust ourselves. trust the universe, trust others. You just keep moving. You keep moving towards what feels good. And that really is the whole idea of this world, right? Is what feels good, is tap back into your emotions, tap back into your mental and your emotional capacity to literally create your life. I'm going to give a really quick story here. So I was part of a group, and what was being taught, this was maybe a year ago, what was being taught was that to not allow any certain kind of emotions in that might feel like it's holding you back. So, for example, the one emotion that they were using was failure, and there was another emotion, and I'm forgetting what it was right now, but it was essentially something like that, like failure. So, like it was a business group that I was in, and the what was being taught was you just don't allow it in. The instant that you start to feel like you're starting to get overwhelmed and you're going to have some failure come in, you stop it. You don't allow it. You just you block it off. You don't let it, and you keep going the other direction. Well, here's the problem with that is that we are meant to feel emotions, right? We are feeling beings, and emotions anatomically, scientifically, they travel through our bodies. It starts in the brainstem, it drops into and it floods into our body, and it travels in a particular pattern. And that's what I'm going to guide you through today is moving energy consciously, because it's happening unconsciously all the time. It's kind of like the way that, our hearts are beating right now and we're breathing and we're not conscious of it. This stuff is it's automatically happening. And so when we try to force something out, we try to I'm not going to allow myself to feel failure. I'm not going to allow myself to feel overwhelmed, or whatever your go-to emotion might be, anger, angst, suffering, sadness, whatever it might be. If it's an emotion that you don't desire to feel, what I'm going to ask you to do is just allow it. Allow yourself to feel it. You have to feel it in order to free it. And once you do, then you can do what I'm going to guide you through right now, which is consciously moving the energy. So we are already doing this always, but we're going to consciously move the energy. I am then going to move the energy from me to you. If you accept it, if you're willing, all you have to do is you probably know already within your being, if you're willing to accept it and allow it in, because I don't spiritually bypass is the term, right? I can't force you to receive anything. I can't force you to feel anything that you don't desire to feel. Pretty typical. You will have temperature changes. You might get really cold. You might get really hot. And it's super common at first. And eventually it'll dissipate as your body gets used to connecting what's going on in the brain and in the head, the brain and the heart, and the brain and the gut, to then morph all of the energetic fields of your body, the energetic field of your auric field, and then the energetic field of your torus field is what science calls it. But this is the field that's about 30 feet in, of, and below and around you. So we're going to merge all of that. We're going to bring it to the center point, which lives in the heart. How beautiful is that, right? So it starts in the heart, and we're going to call in energy there. And then I'm going to guide you to consciously move that energy. Before we begin, I do want to say that today of all days is the day to surrender. Today of all days. So if you are finding me live or on this replay today on February 3rd of 23, or whenever you've been called. So if this happens to come up in your feed, this is for you. Everything is energy. So this video is finding you at the space that you're at, and it's meeting you. I think of it like a sandwich cookie. It's meeting you. It's folding in where you're at, where I'm recording this, the energy that I'm putting into this, and the universe, and it's folding it all beautifully and aligning it for you. And the reason why is because of the universal energies that's coming in today. We're at some 9 of spades. We're at some 9 universal energies for the entire month. And so that's why surrender. That's why it can feel on the low side of the energy that's just floating literally in the universe. I'm going to say this really quick. I was talking with a friend, and what he does is he produces music. And he was talking about how you can actually see the sound waves. And he can manipulate the sound waves of like when an artist is going into the studio, and any other background noise that might be picked up. So the example he used was like if a baby's crying, even in another room, it's a soundproof room, but there's like the sound waves are that potent, that sensitive, that he can actually go in and pull those sound waves out, right? The computer system knows the difference between like the baby crying and the artist's voice, and then the sound waves from the different instruments that are being played. And I was thinking how fascinating. This is a really great example of, we don't see the sound waves, right? We don't see them visually with our eyes. Some people do, but that's a whole other story. But we don't see these sound waves, but they exist, right? The sound waves exist because you are hearing the sound of my voice. The sound waves exist because, for example, when you have an ultrasound, right? And you use what they're using is sound waves to look, for example, like on a pregnant woman, to look through the skin and the tissue and everything to see the fetus, the baby inside. That's using sound waves. So we all kind of just accept these universal laws. We accept the way that things just exist in the world. And so too is that with the energy that we're moving here. And so I offer that just as like one more kind of like, let's open this up to understanding that we're in a universal energy, especially as we just moved into this month. And again, if you're finding me like months later, years later, I'm recording this on YouTube as well, that this is for you. So you're being divinely guided. You're being asked to surrender to even more, to release the grip of control, to release the grip of what you know is not serving you. And yet it feels like, well, this is what I've always done, so I might as well keep doing it because it feels safe. To release that, to surrender, to literally surrender to it, to no longer believe that you have to be doing anything. The hustle and the grind mindset is so archaic and outdated. But there's something else even more to that, where if it doesn't feel flowful, if it doesn't feel like peace, if it doesn't feel like love, surrender. Allow yourself to move towards what does. And that's the energy that's coming in. It's just universally, it's with us right now. And so float on it, allow those like sound waves, and I'll put that in air quotes, that is in the atmosphere. We are experiencing it. I'll say it that way. Like we're experiencing gravity. We are experiencing these energies that are coming in. And so we can either try and fight gravity, right? How good would that turn out? Or we can ride the wave. And you can ride the wave of what's coming in is for me. What is releasing is for me. And that's the energy of the universe that we're in right now. I think of it as it's the 9 energy. It holds the resonance of the 9. And how I think of the 9 is like a revolving door, right? In order to get what's coming in for you in, you have to release what's packed inside the emotional body, inside your to-do list, inside all of the things that you're thinking and feeling and doing every day that's not serving you. So as you release that and you allow it to move out, what you will do is make space for what is coming in. And so it's not one of those things where you have to like go and like rid, you have to like heal and rid in order to receive and create. It happens simultaneously. And just being willing right now, like as you're hearing the sound of my voice, am I willing to do that? And just being curious, like, am I willing? I think I am willing. I think I'm willing to let go of what I've been doing that does not serve me, that is not for me, that's not for others, for something that might feel, how I like to describe it is like terrifyingly exciting, right? It feels terrifying, but it feels exciting. And I think I do want to move towards that. So with all of that said, and I can feel even like as I'm tapping into the energies of those that are here and who I can feel coming in, even some confusion as to like, what does that even mean? And that's because the logical brain in the head is trying to make sense of the words that I'm saying. And so the invitation here would be just allow yourself to feel what I'm saying. Allow yourself to maybe even come back at another time and listen and allow yourself to feel into this. Allow yourself to not have to have the answers right now, and that's okay. All right. With all of that said, again, as long as you're in a safe place to do so, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and move your body around whatever you need to do in order to get a little extra comfy. For example, I'm sitting crisscross on my floor and my socks are really tight on my toes. So I'm going to pull my socks out. Let's just come into our body yet again. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. If you turn the palms upright in your lap and you open them, what that does is it signifies to the brain that you are safe, that there is nothing you need to do right now. So everything out of the hands, everything off the lap, and consciously allowing yourself. What happens is as I clear my throat chakra, I can feel stuff come up where like I can feel the energy of those listening in, like, well, but I do have stuff to do. I can't just be here. Let that ish go. Even relax the belly. Soften the shoulders. Relax between the two eyebrows. And this is creation energy, so it's going to move fairly quickly. What I'd like you to do is imagine the top of your head. So with eyes closed and in your mind's eye, you're going to draw the awareness to the top of your head. And just imagine that the top of your head has an opening. Very similar to the soft spot when you were born. And with the opening of the head, you can sense, you can feel what is source energy, the divine, God, the universe, whatever your terminology is. And it's pouring in through the crown of the head. Just imagining it. Beautiful, bright, white light. Some golden energy pouring in through the top of the head. And you can sense that this light is infinite. And as it pours in, it begins to fill up all of the space within the head. Behind the eyes, the nose and the mouth, traveling down behind the chin, the back of the head, over the neck, where this energy begins to move towards the left side of the shoulder, down the left arm, and this liquid source energy pooling into the heart. And sensing the frequency of love and allowing the heart to be embodied with the frequency of love pouring in from this white light, this infinite white light through the crown, and allowing this energy to move to the right side of the heart. Just imagining it traveling to the right side of your torso, and it starts to move down the right side of the body, filling up all of the organs, traveling down over the right hip and the right thigh, the right knee, calf, and ankle, top of the right foot, bottom of the right foot, where the energy moves out the bottom of the right foot. It turns and it comes up the bottom of the left foot. And it begins to travel up the top of the foot, the left ankle, the left calf and knee, over the left thigh, the left hip, up the left side of the torso, where again it fills up all of the organs, and eventually coming up and landing back into the heart, amplifying the awareness of the frequency of love that this liquid source energy carries. Traveling again to the right side of the heart, up the right side of the shoulder, into the right arm, up the right side of the neck and the face, where it moves out the crown and turns at the top, where it's met with even more liquid source energy. And we're going to follow that pattern, that infinity pattern in the body 2 more times, allowing even more liquid source energy through the crown, down the left side of the body, traveling a little bit faster this time through the heart, down the right side of the body, turning at the bottom of the feet, coming back up the left side. Left side of the body, landing in the heart, feeling the heart swell with love. Traveling to the right side and up, right side of the face. Again, where it moves out the crown of the head and is met with even more liquid source energy. And this third and final time, allowing yourself to slow down or speed up wherever it feels like you may be called to. Traveling down the left side, right light moves through the heart, down the right side of the body, up the left side, through the heart, to the right side of the body, and back up through the crown. Again, meeting even more liquid source energy pouring through the top of the head. Allowing yourself to be here. And if you are open and willing, I'm going to amplify that energy. Beautiful, everyone. Taking a deep breath here, in through the nose, out the mouth. Knowing this energy will continue to run, and drawing the attention back into your body. You can wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. And with excitement, to come back into this physical world, this physical reality with me. The attention behind the eyes. Slowly begin to open the eyelids. You can take your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your left hand. And you could ask yourself in this conscious field, as you can start to see your physical reality, what's next? And then do that. All right. Beautiful, everyone. You are so welcome, Luca. To everyone here live and on the replay, I got really emotional, and I felt the love. I felt gray matter, which is the way that when I see shapes and images and figures, is the abundance. It's the abundance of the ability to really do the mission here, which is to raise the consciousness of the planet, right? So I invite you, if you feel the calling here, invite friends, invite family members that's on Facebook or that's not on Facebook, sign up for a Facebook account and come here and join me. I'm going to come live every Monday and Friday at noon MST. And I will, I'll just let the energies guide me as to what I will do here. But my intentionality is to deepen the connection that we're all seeking, the connection that we're seeking within ourselves and within one another and within our purpose, right? So yeah, I invite you. It's open, and if we're going to do this thing, if we're going to raise the consciousness of the planet, then yeah, I don't want to go at it alone. So I invite you to join me in this mission, and yeah, that's all. So I hope to see you all soon, and feel free to, and by that I mean on Monday at noon MST. And feel free to comment, to post. I mean, this is for you. This is why I'm opening it up. This is your page. It is for those of us who understand that the planet has a consciousness just like we do. The universe has a consciousness just like we do. And if you've been called, if you've been led here, welcome home. I love you all.